Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back, and it is time for another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bots cast. It has been a minute since I've done one of these, as is usual, but we gotta dip our toes into the bot versus bot pool. A little bit of chat messages going out there right away. Sorry, game doesn't keep going, but we got a GLHF. Hi. Yada yada yada, that sort of stuff going on. Hi Caninana, I'm Zoe. 2.3.1.6 is Evil Twin, and then we got a tag Burrowed Roach Timing. So I've already said the name of one of these bots. In the top left, it's EvilZoe, who's evidently the evil twin of Zoebot, I guess. And in the bottom right, we have got a bot that was actually suggested, and the replay was sent in to me. It's Caninana. I'm gonna butcher this so many times. Caninana. Probably gonna be shortened to Can a little bit, but it's Zerg bot that is new, that I've never cast before, which is exciting. So here we are on the map Berlingrad, and it's gonna be a ZVZ. Not that the matchup's as important as the fact that it's a bot versus bot match. And yeah, this replay was sent in by Ratosh, so big thanks for that one. It's really handy whenever I get the opportunity to go and cast some games, to have some that I can go and look at. So feel free to join the Discord that's linked down below. Send me your replay suggestions. I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, let's see as this game's gonna get started. We've got the two bots going for mirrored builds. So EvilZoe. I feel like if I just say Zoe, that's gonna be a little disrespectful to the non-EvilZoe. So, yeah, EvilZoe, go on just for a hatchery. Same for Caninana, hatchery as well. No major differences in the build, but it's been a while since I've seen a ZVZ as far as the bots go, so I'm excited to see. We've already know that Burrowed Roaches are going to be on the way from EvilZoe due to that tag, which I always love to see. And we're going to have to see whether Caninana respond to this and handle the Roach Rush. Of course, that infinite APM is a very powerful tool that bots have when it comes to using Burrow, as that's where the strength of Burrow is lost on human players, as far as not being able to burrow units perfectly, unlike bots can for the most part. Sometimes bots are a little bit derpy when it comes to their burrowing, so we'll see how EvilZoe is going to do. Maybe I'll shorten EvilZoe to EZ here. And yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far into this one, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button, seeing as how we had Can supply blocked at 33. Let's go for 33 likes on this video. That would be fantastic. Of course, Can being supply blocked by that Overlord going down. Second unit in this game to die after that one Zergling. And so a slight lead for EvilZoe, but of course the build is drastically different. And so, a little lead like that is not going to be too significant. 5 roaches are already on the way for EvilZoe. We're going to have to see if Caninana can react to this. Its own Roach Horn is already on the way, which is important. Its own Burrow is already on the way, so it's actually going to be Burrowed Roaches potentially against Burrowed Roaches. That being said, we're going to need to see a Spore Crawler on the side of the player that's the defensive one, most likely, or who knows, maybe it'll just be an endless, drawn-out battle of Burrowed Roaches engaging Burrowed Roaches, and everyone eventually just sticks their head in the sand. That could be the way that this plays out. We'll have to wait and see. Lots more Roaches are on the way for EZ here, as going up to 10. That is a very significant number. All the while Caninana is going for a higher drone count, going for a lair, and once again, I got a comment on this. These bots could very well just be human players. There's nothing crazy going on. There's no major derpage or anything like that, which is great to see in the early game. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see where this is gonna go. Roaches building up for EZ. A little bit of a gas bottleneck here for EvilZoe. Just mining off of 2 gases, pumping out roaches. Maybe a bit of a larva block, pre-larva, so a bit of larva going, but definitely could build some drones or an extra hatchery potentially instead. Just going to be pumping out roaches on these 2 bases. Starting up a 3rd hatch with this many minerals would be good to see. However, We'll see how well EZ is going to do here. Injured Roach starts getting pulled back, so it's not just going to be Burrow. There is indeed pullback micro here from EZ. Underground units, fun, says EZ, as both these Zergs are starting to burrow their roaches against each other, and this is kind of what I was wondering if this would be the case. It's just Burrow versus Burrow. So basically Burrow-nanigans going on right now. Those roaches are all of a sudden just in trouble here, though, for EZ, as Caninana is bringing up an Overseer. So that Burrow all of a sudden loses its potency. And I believe that Caninana should have an easy defense here. If that's the case, its own roach is burrowing, regaining HP, whereas the roaches of EvilZoe are going to just be going down. And so, yeah, I think this is pretty good for Caninana. A third base attempt, however, that is indeed blocked by that Burrowed Zergling, so that's good to see. EvilZoe on its side of the map has got its own third base on the way. Now we take a look here. Roaches have made it into the natural of Caninana. Caninana can burrow its drones. There's no Overseer yet for EvilZoe, seeing as how there's no lair done, so there is no hope of killing these burrowed units, but a lot of lost mining time is going down here, as an entire mineral line is not mining, and this attack has dragged on quite a while, as sometimes those bot engagements do, even more so with burrowed units on each side. The Overseer's not in every position that they can be. There is two. How well they're being split is a question, and they are actually splitting up a little bit here. EvilZoe saying attack results minus 1244 to 0.40475 gas. I'm not sure exactly what the interpretation. I guess that it's first is losses for one of the bots and then the gas. So didn't get a chance to completely catch that, but good to see that that is being posted there. We see 1-1s on the way for EvilZoe. Follow up from both these bots going on. Caninana going for burrowed roaches, tunneling claws. So going to be able to actually move those burrowed roaches around, which is just going to increase their power. As now the game's kind of turned around a little bit, as Caninana is now the aggressive bot. Both bots, no upgrades. Both bots very even in supply, but you never really know how these engagements are going to go. There we see that burrowed movement kicking in there. And Overseer is now out for EvilZoe, so detection on both sides. Little bit of mining disruption at the third base for EvilZoe. Over the third is not yet up for Caninana due to that ling block, so definitely a slight eco lead here for EvilZoe. So going to be taking the lead, getting those upgrades a little bit sooner, getting a fourth hatchery and a fifth, and oh my gosh, just spamming down the hatcheries is EvilZoe. 1 for 6 hatcheries, whereas Caninana is only on 3. That is ridiculous. That is a big investment in a human game of Starcraft 2. You would not be able to get away with that unless you're insanely far ahead of your opponent, or you're just a lot better than them. And I'm not sure that that's the case, but in bot games, bots are less likely to punish something like this. I love the mass expand strategy, actually, by the Zerg bots, because it's not always that your opponent's bot is going to send a unit out or go for a super crisp timing attack. Instead, we see these sort of more drawn-out skirmishes in the bot versus bot games, and that is allowing EvilZoe time to sort of just expand all over the place. Go up to an insane 71 drone count compared to that of Caninana, so a much higher economy for EvilZoe. That's going to pay dividends in the long run as more drones are on the way. Now, this is quite a commitment here. This could be a bit of a runaway train as far as this much economy goes. We'll see how Caninana is going to respond. Even going for an infestation pit, 2/2s on the way versus the just +2 and the melee on the way here for Caninana. So EvilZoe definitely going for the more bold play, but is very vulnerable to a counterattack right now. And if we see that happen, some of these bases that it committed to could very well be going down. Now we're seeing the units start to pump out for EvilZoe. That's a big deal with the 2/2 on the way and with these bases. If Caninana leaves EvilZoe on its own for a minute, it's going to be in a lot of trouble, because this is like this is Zergbot in the red is just going to balloon up in supply. We even see pathogen glands going on the way, a hive on the way. This is an insanely greedy bot here. It made some lings, or a couple of ravagers here now, and some roaches, but it's still far behind on the roach count. We see a ling counterattack going out. That's a big deal. A fourth base is going to be going up for Caninana, but the economy of EvilZoe is just dwarfing that Caninana. But then A Spire gets tossed on up. EvilZoe saying Zergling Squad 2 starting attack on 4th base. We'll see when that's going to occur. I presume that this is the squad and they're heading towards what is actually the 3rd base, I guess. I love to see the printing in chat, though. I guess that's probably just for debug, for the programmer. But it's very handy to see for a commentator, too. Now, we see a slight attack here from EvilZoe poking forward with some of the Ravagers. A lot of those Lings went down. Supply is fairly even. Upgrades are going to be in the lead here for EvilZoe. Supply and bases is definitely higher because of the higher drone count. And, yeah, I'm a little concerned here for Caninana as this game is going to go on. That being said, the Spire could potentially bring this back as there's no anti-air that's been made despite the Spire being scouted. So if Caninana gets up a decent number of mutas, that could turn the game around. Completely depends on how well EvilZoe responds to air units, if that is going to be the way the Blue Zerg goes for. Adrenal Glands on the way. We see a fight going on here, just a roach attack that's going to be getting shut down here, it looks like. This is EvilZoe starting to spam the chat a little bit with these Zergling squads. Lots more upgrades on the way for EvilZoe. Drones are even being moved around one base to another. That's actually great to see. I'm not sure if that's just a macro transfer, if that's a response to the attack on the base. Either way, that is good behavior to see, that EvilZoe has got that depth. Now, a Ling counterattack, also keeping some of the units of Caninana busy. More skirmishes going out on the map. Both bots are maxed out at this point, so that's actually going to really benefit Caninana if a big fight does occur, as it's going to have about a 16 army supply lead, which is what we currently see. And it's just roaches on the way for both bots. So the hive tech, the higher upgrades are going to do very good here for EvilZoe. But then we also see hive upgrades on the way here for Caninana, actually getting the +3 missile attack, whereas it looks like Zoe is skipping that for now in exchange for melee. Bot APM is starting to rise, a casual 32,000. It looks like these bots are actually using that APM as they're just attacking all over the place. A bit of a folly, it seems, here from EvilZoe, losing lots of units. Resources lost is definitely in the favor of Caninana, as it's insanely higher. Let's pull up the units lost. It's 230 Lings for 62, 47 Roaches for 15, and then 15 Ravagers dead on top of this. The efficiency from Caninana is just insane, and that kind of is making it acceptable to be down like 3 bases. 3 or 4 bases compared to that of EvilZoe. EvilZoe needs to start taking some better fights, as this is what we see in a lot of pro Starcraft games these days, particularly in the TVZ matchup, when it comes to that efficiency going into the late game. So if this game goes long, it's going to be very problematic here for EvilZoe, throwing away more and more resources. It needs to start getting some kills. Maybe it's just the unit positioning from Caninana that's better. Maybe it's the composition, allowing it to take better trades. I think it really is the unit composition, though, or the unit positioning, though. We are seeing EvilZoe just move in with a tiny army here compared to all these roaches, and transfuses also being used to keep units alive for Caninana, getting that efficiency up. Resources lost, that gap is just growing. It's now 13,000 difference between these two bots. That is huge. That is like at the peak of what you can possibly lose and still win a game. Maybe say EvilZoe mines out all these bases, it's what? Maybe 20,000 resources difference? Otherwise, then winning the game becomes a lot more difficult. So we really need to see EvilZoe get some better efficiency. Infestors would do wonders. We saw that neural parasite and pathogen glands research, so no sign of those units just yet. We are seeing 3-3 on the way for Caninana. That's actually going to be finishing up momentarily here. +3's on the way for EvilZoe, +2 melee as well. So both these bots are going to be hitting their endgame upgrades fairly soon. Just constant skirmishing. Still going in the favor, it appears, of EvilZoe. Caninana doing a great job dodging those corrosive balls. That can't be overstated how important that is. And then just the higher roach count, allowing it to take better head-on fights. Ling counterattack, but it seems that Caninana responds every single time before losing too many units. The burrow on the drones is huge. Really just keeping those drones alive. So Caninana hasn't had to replace many drones this game at all. 15 going down in a 14, 15-minute ZVZ. That is nothing. Corrosive Biles connect with roaches, but not killed, so they burrowed, and then they pull away and heal, or get transfused. So that's where we're really seeing the efficiency. We're seeing that show up in the banks right now. And, yeah, I'm not sure that EvilZoe is going to be able to win this game, but at the same time, we have seen crazier comebacks occur. I think even in some of the recent games that I've cast, I have called it, and the other bot has actually come out and won it. So I'm not going to speak too much to this. I'm curious to see if either of these bots is going to change up their style at any point, whether there's, say, any triggers or anything for that. Otherwise, it's just going to be unit spam, and that is going to be in favor of Caninana without a doubt. With that higher supply, the drone count kind of biting EvilZoe in the back, the unit positioning is just far superior here for Caninana, being the more defensive player, keeping those units alive, whereas EvilZoe is stringing out these units, losing Ravagers, Roaches, left, right, and center. Like, it's just awful attacks here. At some point, you do just need to group up and go for a big shove. Counterattacks with just a couple of Roaches here going out for Caninana. That's a big deal, scouting those bases out. We see more Zergling squads being queued out, but it's looked like Zergling Squad 2 got 3 worker kills. How many Lings have died this game? 442 to 21 drones? Yeah, I'm not seeing the math on that pay out. Now, let us see how this game's going to proceed. Caninana is now going to be the aggressive player, so going to be potentially shutting down the space in the bottom left. No electing to retreat, but we can't really fault it there, as it's just been taking incredibly good fights so far this game with basically a purely roach composition. Yeah, just pure roaches. A great ZVZ to see. And EvilZoe, I mean, these counterattacks would absolutely have destroyed a human player, but Caninana has been responding. Those drones basically automatically burrowing, keeping themselves alive. EvilZoe is now pushing in, though, going to kill off his hatcheries. So when it looked like Caninana was going to get a hatch kill, actually EvilZoe does keep Caninana on 4 bases. If EvilZoe can keep Caninana on 4 bases this game, it could definitely win. Even at the 20,000 resources down, which is kind of a threshold that I mentioned. 4 bases, though, if that's all Caninana gets, EvilZoe can keep losing resources like this. It will be okay. But it's just got to keep trading out, keep its opponent's spot pinned. We'll see how Caninana's expansion behavior is going to go as it starts to mine out more and more. It's got a very healthy bank, though. More than enough to replace what it's lost this game, actually. 10, like, what's that? 11,000 resources in the bank, only lost 10,000 this game, so that's a pretty good showing. We see a reattempt at that 5th base. The Ling counterattacks keep going towards this 4th base, so while there's the harassment behavior here from EvilZoe, it's not really dynamic. It doesn't really change up ever. It's one of those things, in theory, if you're a bot author, like sectioning off units. If you had, say you were a Starcraft god and you had unlimited APM, you for sure would be harassing this 5th base here. You'd be checking non-stop, because it would just take 1 Ling, 1 Overseer, 1 Overlord to scout it out, to check it out, to instantly harass it. And unless your opponent had perfect response behavior programmed, you would be getting some damage done. Although then, of course, it's not that possible at all to program that in, but EvilZoe maybe needs a little bit more behavior there as far as the harassment goes, as these Ling counterattacks are very repetitive. We see just another attack moving on in. Like, no Roaches really die here from Caninana. How many were we at dead before? It was like, what, 15 or something last time? It looked like 20 Roaches have died. 35 to 89. Meanwhile, 550 Lings have gone down. This really is the problem for EvilZoe. You take away these Lings, all those Ling losses, and resources lost is much, much closer. It's just constantly throwing them away, though, and it's a disaster for the Red Zerg. Caninana is getting up this 5th base. Looks like EvilZoe is rotating towards this. If it can force Caninana back, that will be a big deal. However, another base is being attempted on this top right side. That Zergling just going nuts, attacking on in there. Don't want to look at that too long, though, as the potential break of this 5th base again is going to be a big deal. This game is actually just action-packed, and it's insane how action-packed these ZVZ games are. Looks like a couple of Roaches went down there to Corrosive Biles for EvilZoe, so getting some kills, just spamming those out, but not gaining any ground against these Roaches. So that's good for Caninana. 4th base harassment going down. Drones are actually dying, not getting a chance to burrow, so all of a sudden, Caninana is actually down to 17 drones. I'm not sure where all these other drones died. It must have been a transfer or something. Must have been harassment at this third base. Caninana losing a ton of resources, but it certainly has got the resources to replace those while these two bots trade out. The banks are very, very high for both bots. That fifth base is getting up. This Zergling is attacking, but I think it keeps retargeting because this hatch really isn't going down in harassments. And that's a buggy Zergling right there. Yeah, that hatch is done, but taking literally 0 damage. So a bit of a derpage there by EvilZoe. This constant repositioning, I'm guessing, with that Zergling, preventing it from actually getting an attack off, which is insane because Zerglings attack pretty much instantly. Trades going out for both of these bots. Caninana's income is really low now because of those drone losses. However, that means its army supply is actually much higher. Like, it's 60 supply up in the army from EvilZoe, and eventually in a game of Starcraft 2. Anyone who's followed this game for a little bit knows that eventually there really needs to be a big fight. Now, that might be different in bot versus bot games because they'll just continuously skirmish. So that could actually be different, but if you're EvilZoe, if you were a player as EvilZoe right now, you'd be going, right, I need to take this army down somehow. However, it's actually kind of funny how it works out for the red bot, that it could just keep trading with these corrosive biles, although it keeps hitting itself. It really, really needs to stop hitting itself. It's like Caninana is grabbing EvilZoe's arms right now and saying, stop hitting yourself, as it makes itself repeatedly corrosive bile its own army. Ling counterattack going on in. We've probably crossed the 600 dead Ling mark. Oh my gosh, we're up to 750. That is a lot of dead Zerglings to little effect here. Now, Caninana's mining really is still very low, though. Well, the EvilZoe is still mining up a storm, so this game could very well go either way still. I mean, it's insane to say that at 21 minutes, we really don't have a clue who's going to win this game. EvilZoe is still making moves, able to shut that down. Now we'll see, can this 6th base be shut down? If it can, that's a big deal. Well, now the 5th base, but really Caninana not mining anymore. That bank is starting to go down, down, down. Corrosive biles need to be tossed out here. Push those roaches away, as the roach supply is just insane for Caninana. 73 roaches. That is a heckin' amount of roaches right there. We see EvilZoe add an insult to injury with killing off that base. Going to take it itself. Caninana attempting to re-expand here. We'll see if that gets shut down again. All EvilZoe has got to do is to keep shutting down these bases. That's a win requirement right there. Cancel on that hatchery. Good to see that behavior still in effect for EvilZoe. Ling harassment, really kind of excessive at this point. Although, I mean, it was excessive quite a while ago for EvilZoe, but it's pulling some of the army back. It's buying time, and that's really all EvilZoe needs in this game to keep trading out. Now moving down towards the 6 o'clock base. As that gets shut down again, that could start to usher in the curtain call for Caninana. Like, we really need to see Caninana take up another base, and that's really all this bot needs. One more base, mining. If we look at the resources lost, 40,000 minerals to 16,000, 12,000 gas to 1,700. That is, oh my gosh, that's like the biggest resources lost discrepancy I've seen in a game. That is nuts. Only a bot would do this, but that 5th base does get shut down again. Oh, here's what's actually going to be an engagement, though. It looks like this could be a total army wipe from EvilZoe. A lot of those units getting caught. Units are dying on both sides, but definitely going better for Caninana. As EvilZoe is losing a lot of units, potentially going to be losing this base in the bottom left as well if Caninana pushes this further, and I think it just might. We see even more Zergling squads just posting in chat, going for a few worker kills. At some point, EvilZoe really needs some behavior, maybe in the game, to say, just like a check, did the Zergling squad get enough damage done? If it only killed 0 workers, maybe send less Ling one time, maybe send more Ling another time. And if that doesn't work, maybe abandon them altogether. Although, I mean, it does keep having success. It's getting a few more drones here. The overall picture, whether this is efficient or not, that's debatable. Looks like EvilZoe does hold off this position, though. 5th base is getting reestablished for Caninana. Caninana now down to 5,000 resources. How's EvilZoe mining out? Yes, it actually is starting to mine out. So it's going to be a race to the bottom here. And Caninana's kind of just strolling, whereas EvilZoe is full-on sprinting into a brick wall that is running out of money. The space in the bottom left has got a decent amount. This base in the on the left side. And if this base can be secured for EvilZoe, that might give it enough gas in the tank. But if we look at the resources mined to the resources lost, it's about a third. So by doing some quick maths, we need to see what, like another 15,000-ish resources mined for EvilZoe. Yeah, so it definitely needs up this base before, and to shut down this one for Caninana. And then I think EvilZoe can win this. Otherwise, Caninana is going to be the bot that falls. This is actually insane how close this game is and how we don't know which one's going to win yet. I'm sure if we paused and really thought it out, I could tell you what requirements are needed, but while the game is going on, it's just an it's just insane, endless skirmishes, and this is a great showcase for what bots can, for how bots can have drastically different playstyles, but the games can still be close. Like, at this point, watching this game, I'm convinced either bot can take a game off the other, just depending on little quirks in the map or the game. Like, if this was a smaller map, EvilZoe would not have nearly as many bases and probably would have already run dry. But that's not the case. Now, Caninana is trying to secure up this 5th base, but it looks like it's going to be shut down again, so that's actually a big deal. Big deal. EvilZoe probably going to be caught again, though, if we're following trends. Caninana diving on deep. Going to be shutting this location down. Or shutting this army down, pushing them back. And that's going to be a lot of losses. Roach losses are actually fairly even at this point, 127 to 107. But then you got to take into account the 120 Ravagers and the 1,000 Lings that have died. Resources lost. It's just like a slow creep for one. It's a sprint for the other. Caninana not really mining at all, though. I mean, one base is left. So that mineral bank is starting to drop more and more, 3,600 to 5,000. We still see mining from EvilZoe as this base is getting saturated up. That's great behavior to see. So EvilZoe will be mining for longer. However, this base needs to be reestablished. This one is also a critical base here for EvilZoe. We see these bots trading all over the place. Army supply is also a lot higher for Caninana, so that's more units that do eventually have to be picked off by EvilZoe. I figured in a game this long, I would have fast-forwarded by now, because bot games, like, it tends to be like, okay, we're just waiting to see the end here. But no, every moment of this game has actually had a lot of action in it. And, yeah, like, that's one of the impressive things. Like, we've had a lot of bot games like this lately, in which you don't know who's going to win in a long game till the very end. It's great to see EvilZoe constantly going for that worker harassment. That's some behavior that a human player definitely would have changed, but that's kind of redundant me saying that at that point, because it's bot. We know it's not going to change its behavior at this point. So it's just waiting to see which one of these two styles is going to win out. Resources for Caninana. Not really going up much anymore. Ling counterattack moving on in. I'm curious to see if EvilZoe will change up its behavior when Caninana runs out of resources. It looks like the Lings just kind of run towards the main looking for some damage, even though there's none to be found. EvilZoe mining on the bottom left, mining on this right side base. This right side base is really critical, but Caninana gonna start to run out of resources. It's actually gonna be close, guys. It's gonna be real close. I actually have no idea which bot's gonna win. No idea. Caninana is pushing up towards this right side. EvilZoe needs to counterattack at this point to pull this army away. This is the time that I mean, if it could make a decision, it would be to attack the bottom side to pull Caninana away. But if Caninana gets up on this 6th base, that will be a big deal. Denying mining is what it needs to win, as it's trying to just keep draining EvilZoe. 76,000 resources lost at this point. I'm curious to see how high that number is going to be by the end of the game. That's why another Ravager goes down there in the middle of the map. The space is being defended. This space is not being shut down. We're actually seeing Caninana mine. And from the efficiency that we've seen of these two bots, as they're now going to be sharing a base, doing the endless drone mining to try and disrupt each other, it looks like. This is actually a huge deal, how much Caninana has now mined from this base. The win conditions here for EvilZoe is definitely to shut this base down and keep mining on all these others. It lost this base here, as we see, and so I think EvilZoe is actually gonna gonna die out here. The army position just not working out, although there's this army here. Is it gonna attack down south? Come on, do it, do it. Drones are mining on this base. It knows it's there. They are peacefully sharing a base, but not for long as Lings come on in to mop up, whereas no behavior there is being seen from EvilZoe. Actually, there it is. Lings coming on in now. But they've kind of just run right on by. And EvilZoe is eventually going to hit a point of failure here as it runs out of money. Like, it has been spending money like the US government. Just during COVID. Like any government during COVID. But that is a big discrepancy there as far as resources lost goes. About a casual 60,000. 12,000 there for EvilZoe. Drones transferring. I guess it's got the drones to use, so it's going to try and get some mine in there, but resources now down to 2,000 for EvilZoe. This critical base going to be getting shut down again, it looks like, by Caninana. It may keep it alive, actually taking a good trade, which is a big deal. But honestly, good trades do not matter for EvilZoe, unless all of a sudden the tables turn around and it starts going for 100% efficiency trades, because Caninana has been mining a space uncontested. And, I mean, it got contested for the first 26 minutes of the game, but it just goes to show, you let Caninana have a 5th base, EvilZoe, and this does not work out for you. More drones are transferring. Looks like they're going to be just maybe entering the fight or just trying to mine long distance. No Overseer here for EvilZoe, and we've now seen EvilZoe run out of resources. It's trying to build drones at this point, but that is not what it needs. It's got 63 drones, and I think Caninana has done it. Just by pure efficiency, just maybe by odd unit positioning RNG, something like that, that EvilZoe did not move to shut this base down again. Something changed, and I'm curious to see how many times EvilZoe would win against Caninana. If this was replayed, maybe, maybe not. It's really tough to say. I think Caninana's style is better, the defensive style. In Pro Starcraft, in bots, is usually the one that gets better over time and eventually wins out as the meta develops. And Caninana really showing a great game here. Yeah, EvilZoe running out of resources, just going to keep bleeding off units, folks. Got nothing left. Maybe going to cross the 100,000 resources lost this game. I'm curious to see if that's the case or not. And wow, this has been a 32-minute game so far, ladies and gentlemen. I think we know the result at this point. But make sure to go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, join the Discord, which is linked down below. Consider becoming a member if you want to support these cats. I know I don't really put out enough content to justify it, but it is appreciated regardless. And yeah, join the Discord, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever I do put up a new video. Let's see if we can watch EvilZoe lose 100,000 resources. I feel like I need one of them birthday blower things. I don't think I can really give that sound some justice there, but we will see that 100,000 resources lost broken. It's been a minute since I've seen that in a game of StarCraft, bots or no bots. But we do. With insane efficiency, Caninana, in its debut on the channel, is gonna win. 2 drones left. Nope, a single roach, pardon me, not 2 drones. Where's that roach? Where is he? Where's he hiding? Coward, fight! Defend your home. He's got a couple overseers cheering him on. Where's he going? Where's he going? Uh-oh. Oh, R.I.P. And that's that. EvilZoe. Still spamming attack results, even though there was no attack. EvilZoe, you're the only one left. You have no more soldiers to command. The armies are not there. And that's gonna be it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.